Oh yeah, it is the weekend. So this is a reasonable comparison. I took this thing out to the track. My phone I was having too much fun, forgot to make a video, but I'm gonna show you this quick little comparison. We have the mini EREVO VXL brushless version, still stock form, geared down just a tad because for bashing it's still fast on 3S. And of course my new DEERC velocity roar, I guess you call it, 14210. Now this thing does have LEDs. It is tougher. As you can see, the wheels are a little bit even larger than the EREVO Mini. It is brushless 3S compatible. As you can see, my battery actually didn't fit the one on my last video when I unboxed it, but it is threaded bodied. It's not cantilever like the old Valenion Mini 3S series one. And you know, it's tough. I mean, I jumped it I think about 10 to 12 feet in the air and it didn't break at all. It's super tough. And the cool thing is, I didn't get to show you last time, is like when you hit this button, see the LEDs actually come on. Now it was kind of muddy because it like drizzled and it was a little bit different yesterday, you know, but looking at it from the top views, you can see the size comparison is pretty much the same size as Mini EREVO. This thing's only $200 and this thing's $299 for an extra $100. You're paying for TRAXXAS, and I don't know, I think the handling on this might be better still. As you can see, this thing's kind of wild, so maybe overpowered, but it does have like metal CVAs, you know, versus like the all plastic or TRAXXAS. But this thing is tough, I'm not gonna lie, even though it's plastic. This thing is heavier. It does come with 2 fans, and it comes with a lot more. So for $100 less, you get extra paddle tires, you know, you get extra A-arms, you get extra 2 batteries, okay, and then you get extra body pins and a few other things with that being said. So with that being said, you also get a wheelie bar, which is pretty sick, which is not attached, so you just install it really easily yourself. It's got basically 1 screw right there in the center, and it's got 2 on top, as you can see on top, like right there, those small screws. Actually you could kind of see it. It's like, yeah, there you go, right there, right above the boom, there's 2 little ones, and then it works. So it's very easy to install that, because this thing does pop wheelies. It's kind of crazy. But you know, the cantilever suspension kind of sucks. It's I mean, you could put the thickest oil, I've tried it, and it's still like bottoms out like crazy. But this thing is a beast. I absolutely love the Mini EREVO, and I always wanted something similar that was tougher, that was probably, and I found this thing recently and it's freaking amazing. I was bashing the crap out of it, it didn't break, and it's freaking awesome. So for the value, I think this is a better deal. TRAXXAS is just for the name. You guys know my opinion on that. I actually like Arma better, and I wish I was at Armageddon because it's freaking sick. I was following, and I appreciate all those who actually showed some of the footage while there. You guys know who you are. I always watch your channel and support it. And I can't wait for the next event. Maybe I'll have to fly out, whether it be in Florida or wherever. But I'm all the way on the West Coast here, so West Side representing y'all. So this really is my freedom when I come out and I run it out here. Like, this thing is crazy. It like flips like crazy all the time like that because it traction rolls. Whereas like the EREVO doesn't do it as much. I mean, you could still do it for like, I would say they're maybe 1/14th, 1/18th or something like that. For what they are, they're a little overpowered. If it's 3S especially, you probably want 2S, but I like it super powerful because I do feel like I control it, because you always don't have to push as hard. So why, you know, have more power and then just control it with your finger, you know, don't go too crazy. Now this thing will be nice with a wheelie bar, and they do sell aftermarket wheelie bar, which I never bought, because actually, let me drive it over here and show you guys something real quick. Because actually with the wing, you know, it's kind of like, it's like a wheelie bar already, and it's not that scratched up. So this thing is super fast on 3S. It's super a beast, and it's like one of the best basher this size for what it is. And I'm barely throttling down, and I'm not really gunning it too much. But let's run the other one. Yeah, so I would say it does about maybe 40 to 50, you know. If I geared it up, it would, but it does tend to overheat when you gear it up, so I try not to overheat it too much. This thing is really squirrely, so it's like harder to control. It's not as smooth as the EREVO, so that's why I can see like the quality, but it has more power, way more power than the EREVO. And it's tougher maybe than the EREVO, which is, the EREVO is already tough, and it's a lot faster. It does maybe 48, 50 miles per hour, which is at least another 15 to 20 miles faster. As you can see, if I gun it too much, it could probably just crash right into the curb. And it's very sensitive on the trigger. I mean the steering, because the steering's not as good, and you have to really control it. What was I gonna say? Swirly it is indeed, and I can't really gun down. I'm probably going like half throttle, and so I'll probably already hitting 40 as fast as the EREVO Mini, and I know I can hit the curb already with it. So it's the trim. It's the trim. The trim is like, you have to trim it right. It took me a while to trim this right, and it's still squirrely as fast as it is. It's like ridiculous how fast it is, but it is super duper awesome. I think I'd rather have a crazy car that I can't control and learn to control than one that like I can already control but I'm bored with, if that makes sense. You could quote me on that one, because this car is absolutely crazy. It's way overpowered, and people love to overpower their cars, but you could just buy a car that's already way overpowered and just go have fun with it at the track. I like it at the track because I'm not worried about crashing in the curb. So this is one of those cars where I would prefer running on like a bash course, like in the dirt, somewhere crazy, just to run it, versus like just sitting out here and running on the street, which I also love. But I know in a second I'm going to crash into the curb because I want to gun it and go real fast. But the reception works good on the controller. Sometimes the Chinese ones, they don't have good reception, but I think this is a high quality car, and TRAXXAS is just all name, you know what I mean? It's all name. So I would probably just get this if I had a choice and I had to do it all over, because it's more for your value. The EREVO is cool too, and I can't afford it. So if you can't afford it, I would probably get the EREVO, because of the part support. But the parts are pretty good for this. I looked up, there is parts for it, because the Hyper Go is similar to this, and this thing is just, let's see if I can even, ooh, yeah, I can't flip really easy, as you can see. But I'm trying to see if I can hit a wheelie. Ooh, it's like a little too powerful when you do that, but woo, yep, that's what it does. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but this thing is badass, man. It's definitely like not for beginners, because it kind of is too squirrely. Yep. So these trencher wheels are actually good for the dirt because they have a lot of grip. That's why it keeps traction rolling real easy. But if you could gun it right and drive it right, you're okay, like the way I'm driving it, because I have good control and I've gotten used to it a little bit. But it's gonna go crazy because it's just way overpowered, and the wheels for it are crazy. But I think if I got some different tires that have a little more give on the street, it would be sick on the street too. But it's not something that's gonna like peel out or loose, you know, give you a little drifting or anything on the street, like some cars that you can still drive. So I could easily crash this like that, and it's crazy. But the EREVO Mini is like way more controllable, even though that's already hard to control. But look how stable it is when you drive it. You don't have to worry about swirling nothing. So it's actually a better vehicle. So I changed my mind. I probably picked this over the other one. But you know, it is overpriced, but it is what you get for what you get. So I think there's a fine line between TRAXXAS being overpriced and, you know, having a good RC car, because they do a good job making their RC cars, but I think it's overpriced a tad, okay? Not way like people are saying, but you know, they've earned their right to do that. So you guys are probably like, what the heck's with Tom? He's like flipping it off the script all the time, saying he thinks the other one's a better deal and then blah blah blah. But you guys can see I could do like full passes with this one, but of course it's going a little slower. But once I get it up, it'll probably do like 40 to close to 50 miles per hour, and it's fast enough. But look, I could go all the way down without crashing into the curb, like to the end, without, you know, crashing into the curb or losing control and traction rolling it. Whereas with the other car, I could barely do that, as you guys can see. So, you know, speeding up. But I mean, as far as bashing, these are bashers. So when you go out on the track, that's when it really shines, because I was at the track yesterday. And I don't know, because I didn't bring the, I think the EREVO's funner on the track, because it may be, if I just get like switch the tires and maybe put those tires on the mini EREVO, oh my gosh, it might be absolutely amazing. But this is one of the best cars ever for this class. And now this is a competitor, you know, it's definitely close enough where I think it's worth it to pick up. But I think looking at both cars, you guys can see how I traction rolled a lot with this one, and that's why you get what you get. But for the effort, I give it an A+, because it's absolutely tough, and you jump in the air and you just have fun. Sometimes you like crashing, and crashing is a fun thing. But not everyone likes doing that. They want to stop going and doing the walk of shame where you have to flip your vehicle back over, and I did that a lot with this thing. But it was still fun. It was good exercise. So if I want exercise, pick this guy. If I don't want exercise, pick that guy. And if you want great part support, still pick that guy. And this guy also has pretty good part support, so they're both. Just get them both. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna sit out here, run some more, and I might go on the dirt a little bit too. This thing really shines, because with the trencher-like tires, it could do the dirt really well. And you guys can see it like runs pretty good, because it's like got a lot of grip. But on the what was it, the asphalt and the concrete, it doesn't really work as good, you know, because it like traction rolls too much because of the trencher tires. And it's a small, you know, truck. So with a small truck being said, it's gonna be a little out of control sometimes, but because of the overpoweredness. But you know, on the dirt, it's pretty awesome. Like you I love running back and forth here with these cars, these mini ones, because you don't need a big area, but you just kick up a little dirt, have some fun with it, you know. And to be honest, the EREVO Mini is a lot better, because you could just tell it just is absolutely amazing the way it runs. I mean, you actually don't need crazy good gripping tires, you know. I think the Chinese cars obviously overkill a little bit with what they did. It's cool for your first RC and you don't care about breaking it, but the EREVO is just way more controllable. So that's why TRAXXAS are the way they are, guys. I'm not trying to fault them. That's just the truth, in my opinion. Look how good I can control this. And you see with the other cars, just like freaking crazy, like all crazy. And like you have like way better control with this thing. And like pretty soon you just get better at driving it, and you just keep driving it like that, and it's like absolutely amazing, man. This is like one of the best scale bashers. So for a smaller car to compete with this, it'd be tough. And you know, maybe the HPI, I was thinking about that Maverick Quantum 2. That thing looks sick. That brushless one is pretty cheap too, and it's a good price, and it runs well from what I've seen if you guys reviewed it. But this thing, man, is absolutely amazing. And HPI I always liked, to be honest. I really did always liked them a lot. They were awesome. But you know, they were out for a while, and now they're like with the Maverick Quantum, and that's their style. But I used to drive the Stampede on the dirt like this all the time too, with those original Talon tires, and these are similar to the original Talon tires. And to be honest, on this type of gravel, those are like the best type of tires to use, as you guys can see how easy I could drive it. So just showing you a different angle here, because it drives so well. You know, you can make some marks on the dirt and just drive it really nicely, and you don't lose control. So way better, way better. Just proving to you guys something here. You know, I want to like the other car so much, and I think it's a great deal because I'm all about getting deals. But you guys see how I made that turn there with good control? It's just one of the best cars. And this car will be an excellent car on the track too, surprisingly. It's a basher, but at the track, I'll have to show you later, it like freaking goes really well. Like, and you'd be surprised how good it drives on the track. Like, you know, I mean, I gotta try the 2.0 on the track more. I like to bash it and jump it, but to actually drive and the handling capabilities, I gotta show you when I get the EREVO larger 2.0 back out, because it's similar to this. Because now when you buy this, it actually has the 2.0 body on it, which is like the one with like kind of the marks on it. It's not this old school body. Like, let me show you right here. Yeah, the old school VXL body. let's give this guy another chance. Man, as you guys can see, it's like too squirrely. It's hard to control. It does shine pretty good on here because it's like looks cool, but man, like actually the control is kind of crazy. You have to drive it slow like this to actually get control, and you'll lose traction real fast. So as you can see, the engineering is not as good with the way it's designed, but it's fun to just drive around and stuff. But as far as trying to get anywhere without crashing, and most of you guys that don't drive RC cars all the time like we do will like probably just flip it, crash it, break it. I mean, actually this thing won't break. That's the cool thing. So it's kind of an interesting thing because it makes it like you think like, oh man, it's so powerful, it's so cool, and so much for your money. But then like the drivability and handling kind of sucks on it. That's the truth. Unless I drive it like that fast, because once I gun it more, I'm gonna lose control because of the way it's designed. It's like, it's crazy. It's fun though. It's a fun car. Like, don't get me wrong. Oh dang, look at that thing. It's just like, I'm trying to make a lap like how I was with the EREVO, as you guys can see, without losing control. So it's kind of easing into it. Maybe I'll get better once the car gets warmed up. It's kind of like wishful thinking, you know? See how I can't like do it without overpowering it? I think it's the throttle dual rate or throttle trim's kind of crazy. Maybe it's like too much throttle trim on there or something. I don't think that's it, but or the steering dual rate if I had like less. But with this car, it doesn't give you the option of that. The only good thing is it takes 2 AA's instead of 4, which ain't much. But for the cheapskates, good cheapskate car, because it's like runnable. So if you just drive it like slow like that, you could do better. But it's heavier on the ground. It's heavier than the EREVO 2.0, which means but it's way overpowered. Like there's more power than the EREVO, not 2.0, but mini. Sorry. Yeah. See, I'm getting a hang of it now. I just got to drive slower. That's the key without crashing. Oh, but who wants to drive slow, right? See, I even hit a tree and it lasted, so it's doing pretty good. Let me turn the, whoops. There you go. I turned the headlights on. Now you can see the headlights. Pretty cool. Ooh, man. But as you can see with the EREVO Mini, I was like going through this easily, like straight through pass-bys. But here it's like fishtailing so easy, like you're just gonna fishtail like every second of the way. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna stay out here and run it a little more until these batteries are dead, and then we'll be done. Anyways, you guys, there you have it. That's the quick comparison of these two rigs. I would still go with the Mini EREVO VXL over the Velocity Roar DRC. It's fun just going crazy and stuff if you're on the track, and you know, and it's tough. I crashed into a tree, I jumped it huge. I should have got some of that footage and it didn't break, but it's just like, you know, the fun factor is maybe a little more on this because it's the drivability, especially for someone new driving who hasn't got good control. But I'm all about challenges, and I do want to like get this down, and like even though it drives like you lose traction, maybe if I try like the paddle tires it might be better, but we'll see. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your weekend.